our adversary, the devil. Peter talks about this in the book of 1 Peter, chapter 5, verse 8, and he says the adversary comes to as a roaring lion, and he's about picking off the vulnerable among us. Jesus gives us some insight into this. We find this in John chapter 10, and he talks about the good shepherd and how the good shepherd cares for his sheep, and he talks about the devil. And this is in essence of who he's referring to here. He calls him the thief, and he says the thief will come over the wall. And of course, in those times, we understand that when the shepherd would bring the sheep to the sheepfold, the shepherd would lay across the door, because Jesus referred to himself as a good shepherd, and he says, I am the door. In other words, he lays across the door to protect his sheep. But it says the thief, he will come over the wall, and he's about destruction. And Jesus uses these terms. He says, the thief cometh but to steal and to kill and to destroy. And if you look at the essence of these words, you'll find that there is a period of time between all of them. In other words, first he comes to just steal. And so how does he steal? He says, first of all, he takes away our knowledge of truth. In other words, he takes away any understanding that we might have of God, and any trust we may have in God, any hope, any faith in God. He takes that away. And once that happens, we become very vulnerable, because we have not the strength that we draw from our relationship with God, who's going to help us to defeat the devil, defeat the enemy, defeat the adversary. And so now we are left to our own devices. And a lot of people are exactly in that status of life. And the truth is, a lot of times things will go very, very well under those circumstances. And a person will be prosperous, healthy, everything's going good. And so there's no alert, no sense of danger, because everything is going well until it isn't. And things begin to change. Health problems come. Perhaps relationship problems occur. And perhaps maybe even death itself. Because you see, Scripture tells us that first he comes and he just begins to just strip things away that would cause us to have faith in a relationship with God. And then he's able to attack and bring death. And then the ultimate destruction, which is the eternity in hell, which is, he says, to steal, to kill, not only to kill you physically, but to kill you spiritually, to where your everlasting dominion is forever in his grip, ever in his grasp, ever in his dominion, without any possibility of escape for eternity. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.